Hi family, Cousin Ozzy here. Today is day 5 of the 30-day morning spiritual challenge to grow your spiritual core. Oh, yes. So today we rise up in our breathing. Today it's all about breathing. Why? Because we're going to be focusing on breathing because it supports our healing. Let's start with that. This is all about healing. Body, mind, and spirit. You have been through a lot, physically, emotionally, spiritually, at every level. Now, what happens is that I've been through a lot too. See, today I'm going to talk about this experience. What happens when your heart no longer functions? What happens when you're surrounded and you see your children and you know that there's a very real chance that that's it. You'll never see them again, and they will have to pay tribute to you in a box or as ashes, which is what happened to me at the age of 44. This is so critical, cousins. It's so critical that we study the relationship between your breath, the healing, and also your spiritual self. Why? Because, everywhere there have been humans, everywhere there have been humans who understand that they are so much more than just a physical body. There is a golden thread through all cultures regarding our breath. So I'm going to share with you what it's like to die in the aftermath of a heart attack. And one of the things that happens is that life does not wait for you when you're sick. It does not wait for you. Life continues. Of course it'll continue. So you'll find yourself separated from the people and the things that are meaningful to you for a while, potentially, when you end up in the hospital under emergency conditions. So back then, I had a wife. She was going through cancer. Her mother had died before, I believe. At the time, I had 2 minor children and a business and clients that really did need me to be fully present. But you can't do that when you've had a heart attack. Your life has come to an end as you knew it. So that is something we all share, all of us. Something happened. Something happened. It was horrible. Right? Something happened and it was horrible, and now you're never the same. I always point to my hand to show you something happened. It was horrible. I can't go back. Something happened. Oh my God, it was horrible. I can't go back. In my left hemisphere of my brain when I had the stroke, something happened really horrible. I can't go back. I cannot go back. But what do we have? Regardless of your physical condition, if you're alive, the one thing that we all have is our breathing. So yes, our breath today, it's the spiritual connection to the breath that I'm going to be talking about. I woke up and I was feeling really groggy. This is something that my sister Tanya, when she was burned, they put us, some of us get put on respirators. And you wake up groggy and disoriented, and everything was a blur. And I could barely make out the faces that were around me that morning after I woke up from the open heart surgery. And my chest was so tight, so tight. And I struggled to take a breath. And then panic. Oh my God, I panicked. That set in as I realized that I could not breathe on my own. Oh shit. I am attached to a machine. That's when I saw it, that tube that coming out of my mouth, and it was connected to a machine that was pumping air into my lungs, and I was connected to a respirator after open heart surgery. And it's a really strange sensation to feel the air being forced into you and the air being sucked out of you and I couldn't control it on my own. And it was so unsettling, so unsettling. It's terrifying because every movement was restricted. As a matter of fact, I felt like I was literally, not a joke, I was a prisoner in my own body during that time. That's why today I chose for our song. The song today is titled Rise Up. You gotta watch it, because it's literally about that, being trapped in your own body. You know, the first few hours were the hardest, and I'm sorry if you have been through this. You know, as well as I know, how terrible, how horrible it is emotionally and spiritually and psychologically to be in that time when you can't breathe. So, I was in and out of consciousness, and every time I woke up, the reality of the situation, it hit me all over again. It hits you all over again. And I couldn't speak, I couldn't move, I couldn't even scratch an itch. My hands, both, like I was swollen, completely swollen, my whole body, completely swollen. And as the days went by, you start getting used to the respirator. And I learned how to communicate by using hand gestures. And although I could barely hold a pen, I could kind of write. So there were moments when the machine, I thought it was going to malfunction. That's another thing. I'm like, oh my God, I'm an engineer. So I'm thinking, boy, what if the power goes out and the battery doesn't kick in? What if the power supply is messed up? What if there's a kink in the tube? What if? It's easy. It's easy to become desperate. It's easy to become desperate. That's why today we are going to learn how the breath is the gateway through which we can achieve a level of tranquility, of inner peace, even when things are very, very, very rough, cousins. So I want to remind you that as a reward for completing the challenge, I have a special gift prize for 3 of you, and it's going to deal with this theme. So today's inspiration is that life, the affirmation is that I am worthy of love and respect. That's right, yes. So today we breathe. The practice is we're going to be practicing deep breathing for 10 minutes today. 10 minutes of just deep breathing, because it feels so good to breathe after you haven't been able to breathe. Oh my God. Every time I take a breath, it feels like heaven. It feels like heaven. Deep breathing can help calm your nervous system. It reduces stress, and it brings your attention right back to this moment. So when you are feeling anxious about the past or fearful of the future, lock into your breath. It's going to bring you back to the present moment. And, just take a few moments to breathe deeply, focusing on the rise and fall of your breath. When we breathe in, we'd rise. And the fall of the breath. So, notice how it makes you feel. So today, for day 5, the 3 keys are, we're going to spend 10 minutes in silent meditation. We're going to write down affirmations or positive statements, right, about yourself and your life. And here are 3 ideas that I'm giving you today. Gratitude. Think about 3 things in your life that you're grateful for and use them as the basis for your affirmation. For example, I am grateful for my supportive friends and family and caregivers. I'm grateful for my health, the opportunities that come my way, and I am capable of achieving my goals and living a fulfilling life. That's a beautiful one. So I give you that on Item number 2 of today's 3 keys. Then we could write about self-love. Write an affirmation that focuses on self-love and acceptance. I accept and I love myself exactly as I am. With scars, missing fingers, bald, whatever, man. I love myself. So, for example, I am constantly growing and improving as a person. That's so true. I embrace challenges and obstacles as opportunities. This is an opportunity for growth. This is an opportunity for growth. You having survived burns or abuse or cuts or being amputated, some part of you, whatever it is, abuse, whether it's verbal, whatever. You embrace challenges and obstacles because they truly are opportunities for growth. And I am capable of achieving anything I set my mind to. Oh my God, that is so true. Yes, as long as you have breath, you can achieve anything. And another one is the idea for today. The third thing is to find your own spiritual text or a quote for 10 minutes. So today I'm going to read to you what I have written regarding the breath, right? That'll be the spiritual text that I choose to read because I wrote it. This is part of my journal. I have a journal that I write in every day. Let's see, I write in my journal all the time. So I'm sharing with you. You write in your journal too. Please do that. You know, there's a book inside of you. You have survived and thrived through the unthinkable. And there are others out there, just like me, just like you, who are going through rough times, who need your love, your kindness, your compassion. So today's yummy uplifting song is Rise Up by Andra Day. Please, cousins, the links are in the description. Oh man, the links are in this post. Please click on that. Close your eyes and take a moment to breathe in. And if you must, absolutely cry. It's important. All right, so let me dive into the final piece for today's Ozzy Says, right? The final piece of Ozzy Says today. Let me see if I can find what I wrote here. If you will bear with me half a second, I have old man eyes. Oh, yes, man. Yes. So my spiritual thoughts on the breath. Ready? Spiritual thoughts, and this is based on various wisdom traditions from around the world. The breath holds a great significance in many spiritual traditions from around the world. Why from around the world? Well, you might be a Christian, you might be a Muslim, you might be Jewish, you might be Sikh, you might be Hindu. We have cousins from everywhere around the world. Therefore, when I sit down to think about you, my beloved cousins, guess what? I think in terms of, wow, what does he or she, where do you draw your power? Where do you breathe in your connection to the thing that gives you hope for life? The thing that brings you inner peace? Well, our spirituality. This is the reason why this course is so awesome. Because this is literally connecting you to your source of power when you are feeling weak. Why? Because I love you so much. So I study all of these wisdom traditions. I am a Buddhist. And however, I was raised Christian. And I have family who comes from the Dominican Republic and from Cuba. And so we have Afro-Caribbean spiritual traditions as well. We're a big mix of humanity up in here. And we're all cousins. We all love each other. So the breath holds great significance in many spiritual traditions, as it is often seen as a powerful tool of the divine, of connecting with our inner self and the divine. So here are some thoughts. In Buddhism, for example, I'll begin with me. In Buddhism, the breath is seen as a way to cultivate mindfulness. In other words, to pay attention in a very specific way, in a very loving way, to pay attention to your breath. So your mind, which is like a monkey, it's jumping everywhere, it can stop. It can stop so you can rest for a moment from your mental afflictions. So it's seen as a way to cultivate mindfulness and to develop insight into the nature of reality. Practitioners are encouraged to focus on the breath as a way to anchor their attention, anchor it, in other words, bring it here in the present moment, and to observe, to look at the fact that everything is impermanent. In other words, look, my fingers are not permanent. My hair is not permanent. My beautiful skin when I was a baby is not permanent. And also the interconnectedness of all things. In other words, you breathe out, I breathe in. We are interconnected. We're interconnected with the trees, the animals, the insects, the stars, the galaxies are all together in this. In Hinduism, oh, my cousins from India, I love you so much. In Hinduism, the breath is seen as the life force, or prana, that animates all living things. It brings everything to life, prana. Breath control techniques such as pranayama are used to regulate the flow of prana, life energy in the body, and to balance the physical, the mental, the spiritual aspects of the self. I draw from Hinduism a lot of meaning in terms of the breath, cousins. In Taoism, oh, my cousins from China and the Far East, oh, I love you so much. Wow, I need. Wa'aini. 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 That means I love you in Mandarin. In Taoism, the breath is seen as a way to connect with the natural world. And it is the flow of energy or qi. Breathing exercises such as qigong, which I practice on a daily basis. I practice qigong and tai chi, are used to cultivate this connection and enhance the body's natural healing abilities. That's what I use qigong for. I use it to breathe energy, fire in particular. Each organ has a different element: earth, wind, fire, water. The heart is fire. The kidneys are metal, I believe, and so forth and so on. Then there's Christianity. Our Christian brothers and sisters, we love you. I love you. My parents both were Christians, and I was raised that way. In Christianity, the breath is also often associated with the Holy Spirit, which is called chi, prana, and so forth and so on in different traditions. It's all the same thing, which is seen as the divine presence. Again, just like in Hinduism, prana animates the body, chi animates the body. In Christianity, the Holy Spirit is seen as that divine presence that animates all of creation, not just the humans. And through prayer and meditation, Christians seek to cultivate a deeper awareness, yes, of the Holy Spirit that is within you and within everyone, including your enemies. Oh, love thine enemy as thyself, because we are interdependent. And that's how we connect to the divine presence of God in all things and all people, whether it's our enemy, our friend, our daughter, a total stranger. In Sufism, the breath is seen as a way to connect with the divine and access higher states of consciousness. Breathing techniques such as zikr or remembrance are used to focus the mind and open the heart to the presence of God. Yes. Yes, right now, at any moment when you are feeling desperate, reach out in breath and in gratitude to the divine that's within and without you. So that's used to purify the body, the mind, and the spirit, just like all of the other traditions. In Islam, the breath is also considered an important aspect of spiritual practice. The Arabic word for breath is nafas, which is derived from the same root word as nafs, meaning the soul. This is your soul, you're breathing. In Islam, you are connected to Allah's soul. Oh, Allah be blessed. This suggests that the breath is closely linked to the inner self and the spiritual dimensions of all human existence. All human existence. One of the most well-known spiritual practices in Islam is the recitation of the Quran, which is often accompanied by conscious breathing. Muslims are encouraged to recite the Quran slowly and with a deep rhythmic breath in order to fully absorb, fully integrate into your mind, your body, your spirit, the meaning, and to connect with the divine message. Not only modern spiritual traditions, but Aboriginal cultures. The breath is seen as a very fundamental aspect of life, connecting individuals to the natural world and the spiritual realm, both. Aboriginal peoples believe that the breath is a gift from the Creator, that it represents an ongoing flow of life and energy in the universe. Breathwork is a common practice in Aboriginal spirituality and can take many forms, depending on the specific culture and tradition. For example, in some Aboriginal cultures, the breath is used as a dance and ceremony. It's part of dancing and ceremony to connect individuals to the natural world, to invoke spirits, and also to connect with one another. The point is, you are breathing, you are alive, and you are loved, obviously. Because here you are with me, here you are with the rest of your cousins. Thank you so much for coming on day 5 of this journey. Wow. So day 5, I dedicate this to you, all of you, who have had your breath cut, where you can't breathe on your own, and you have had to rely on either a machine or someone giving you mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. Anyone who has drank, like I drink every day, the athletic greens, like I was telling you the other day, 2 days ago, I think. But I drink this. What happens if I, like that, I choke? Take those moments as lessons on the importance, the spiritual importance of your breath. We don't have to go to a synagogue. You don't have to go to a church. You don't have to go to a mosque. You don't have to be in the middle of a forest. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to be anywhere in order to connect with your spiritual self. How do we connect? Literally, by breathing in the love and breathing out this gratitude that I have for you. Now we're going to take a moment, all of us together. Let's close our eyes if you can. If you feel safe and everything is good, close your eyes just for a moment. I want to thank the breath that breathed the entire universe into existence, the breath that flows through us. I want to thank the love that sustains us in this moment. I want to thank each and every cousin for the love that you are learning to have for yourself. The love and the appreciation and the gratitude for this change that can never be taken back. I love my little hand. I love my scarred chest. I love my bald head. I love my eyes that can see, my ears that can hear. I love all the parts of me that work in every breath. I love you, cousin. And in every breath, when I wake up and when I go to sleep, I pray and I meditate for each and every one of you. I receive direct messages asking for prayers, and I respond to it, not just me, but there's a group of us who pray on a daily basis for your healing, for your flourishing. We love you. Thank you. I love you so much. I love you. I love you. I love you. Yes, I do. All right, day 6 tomorrow. Oh my God, we're moving right along. And don't forget, listen to that beautiful song, that uplifting song. Rise up, cousins, rise up. Happy every morning. Happy even, especially when you are in deep pain. Especially when you're in deep pain. Be happy, be grateful. That means your body is working. It's telling you pay attention to something. Pay attention. Talk to your doctors. Talk to your caregiver. Take your medication. We are here to thrive. We are post-traumatic thrivers. That's what we cousins are. All right. I love you. I love you. Love you. Not just a little bit. I love you a lot.